On a mild fall day in 1896, a group of curious townsfolk and determined reporters assembled on the south shore of Lake Michigan to observe an individual who some described as the wild man of the dunes. They witnessed a well-dressed, elderly man leading a group of daredevils who were taking turns running off a large sand dune with what looked like artificial wings. To some, it might have looked like a group of men with another harebrained scheme. But the people familiar with its leader, Octave Chanute, knew he was moving them one step closer to solving one of man's ultimate problems, that of heavier-than-air flight. And that wild man? Well, he was known as one of the most important civil engineers of his time, and a key figure in man's quest for the air.
To me, he was what I consider a Renaissance man, somebody that knows people, knows technology, and knows how to get a job done.
In a way, Chanute was a very magnanimous individual. He was a man of great influence who endured great respect.
Chanute probably did more in his spare time than most people do in their entire careers.
Chanute brought the attention of some of these elites to the fact that flying machines were feasible.
But he wanted to help everybody. He figured the more all of us know together, the sooner we'll beat this problem of heavier-than-air flight.
He was sure that humans would fly, and he thought the future of humans flying was going to change the world.
Throughout the course of history, entire societies have been forwarded by genius insights of dedicated individuals. Octave Chanute was one of those men whose innovations impacted countless lives for the better. His creations were groundbreaking, but more importantly, his life showed how monumental tasks could be accomplished through collaboration to solve man's ultimate problems, realize our dreams, and soar to new heights. Like many successful men of his era, Chanute's story essentially began with an immigrant journey to America. 6-year-old Octave traveled across the Atlantic with his father, Joseph Chanute, who left his position as a history professor at the Royal College of France to take a leading position at Jefferson College in New Orleans. Octave was often left to his own devices as his father attended university business and would occupy his time learning about the world from books. Joseph grew weary of the Southern way of life and relocated to New York City with young Octave in tow. The change of venue to big city life would be educational, but the journey to the East Coast with both delights and inconveniences would be even more formidable for the young man.
Young Octave experienced the difficulty in traveling up the Mississippi, over the Ohio, across the Allegheny Mountains into New York City. And going by steamboat or having a horse pull a canal boat, that was just not what he thought it ought to be. That trip opened his eyes what needs to get done.
Octave benefited from a state program which afforded him the opportunity to attend a private French-speaking boarding school. Upon graduating in 1848, Chanute was determined to find a future in the growing railroad industry.
He wanted something high-tech. And then he heard that the Hudson River Railroad was going to extend from New York City to Albany, and they needed layout and surveying. And he thought, this is high-tech, and there's the future.
Octave secured an interview with the railroad's prominent chief engineer, John Jervis. But with no experience and only a high school education, his options were limited at best.
Jervis told him, we have no positions. Chanute said, okay, I'll work for free.
Octave's curiosity and drive impressed Jervis, and 3 months later, Octave was officially hired on as part of the railroad surveying crew.
He became a chainman at $1.12.5 a day. It was the lowest paid job in the railroad, but he enjoyed it because he got to learn a lot. So he was a happy guy.